Breakfast this morning, eggs, bacon, a mini scone, and can't forget the coffee. Good morning everyone, Aja here from Panda Monium. We are going to be doing some gardening today here on the homestead. While I finish my breakfast, I'm going to do a flashback of when I started my seeds about 3 weeks ago. So here you go. So it is time to start some seeds. I've got all the stuff I need and all the seeds. There's a lot that I'm going to start. There's kale, there is kohlrabi. Got, what else? Basil, more basil, cauliflower, broccoli, bok choy, collard green, celery. I already said kale, didn't I? There's quite a few that's going to be direct sown, so I'm not going to mess with those today. Just what I want to get an early start on. We've got leeks and amaranth. Also, we definitely have to get an early start on the tomatoes and the peppers. Here's the peppers in here, sweet peppers. I'm only gonna grow sweet peppers this season. Maybe one spicy pepper, like either a jalapeno or a cayenne. Cayenne would probably be the best because I can use it for multiple things. I just can't ingest a lot of it. It's just my stomach can't handle it. But yeah, I'm getting prepped for the garden this season. It's gonna be, I'm hoping it's gonna be a big garden because I wanna grow a lot of my own food, preserve things. And all in all, just be prepared. Right, Moo-moo, with your army jacket on? We're gonna be prepared. I'm using this organic seed starting mix that has coconut core in it. I have to get everything moistened down. That way it'll be easier to work with and put it into the trays. Well, all the seeds are done, the ones I'm going to do for now anyways, and I put them up in the loft. I completely cleared out the loft. Well, not completely. There's a few things. I am storing the seeds that I still have to grow up here, and I still have room for more. Then here's the seeds I've just done. Got the grow lights on the tomatoes because they especially need it, and the peppers. The other stuff I'm just going to kind of let go and see what happens. And I have the celery, lettuce, brassica tray in the window here, and I've been spraying everything down. Very good. I watered the bottom of the tray, then I sprayed the top until they sprout, and then from that point on I'll water them from the bottom tray. I'm so excited. 2023 garden started. Yes, well, actually I think I actually started the seeds, or I started gardening right at the end of 2022, so does that count? I'm not sure, but I have been gardening, but this is like the initial gardening. I know that there's a bunch of seeds planted and they're gonna go out into the garden. For those of you who are new to my channel, I do own 20 acres in northern Arizona in the Williams area. The elevation is right at 6,000. Now out of that 20 acres, I probably only use about 2 acres for my RV home base and homesteading. You know, that's where the vegetable garden is, and there's the center court area, and also where the shipping container is and where I park my rig. You gonna show them what we've done? Let's go ahead and show you some of the new flowers and plants that I've gotten, and also the progression of the seed starting. Now this is the pincushion flower. I got 3 of these, and they are perennial. Then I got 3 of dianthus. Then there's also these that I'm gonna put in the pot. These are annuals, but they are the bacopa. Then we have alyssum here, which are going to go into pots as well. And those are annuals. I'm going to get more of those because those are cheap. They're like I think, what was it, $2.48, and then these are usually $5.98, but with the 3-pack special, you got them for $4. And these are usually $8.98, but if you buy 3, it's $5 a piece. This tray was started about a week ago. It has cosmos and marigold in it to be adding into the vegetable garden. And then this tray of flowers was started about 2 weeks ago. And it has different flowers in it, like Shasta daisies, pansies, penstemon, forget-me-nots. And here are the seeds that I started about 3 weeks ago. We have basil here. This is the red variety. And then there's also more alyssum, but this is the perennial version. And then we have sweet basil there. And I think this is collard greens. All these are collard greens here. These have been up potted, because I started them in small pots, but I went ahead and transferred them because they're getting bigger and they have their true leaves. There's only one that's not actually doing anything right now, and it's this one here. Or I think it died off, actually. It's okay, I can reseed that. And then we have daisies here, more Shasta daisies. And I forget what these are, so I probably should have... Oh, I did write them on the side. Oh, figures. Cleome, I think. It's hard to read. They're kind of smudged. And then we have French sorrel here, dino kale here. These have all been up potted. What had happened to me when I got back, I had these in these trays, and about a week after I got back, the wind blew this over. That's why I moved everything back here against the shipping container, because the wind doesn't blow so hard here. But I had this out in the open and it got blown off, so I went ahead and transplanted all the seedlings into their own individual pots, the ones that didn't get messed up. And then that's when I planted out the flowers in this. And this was started about 3 weeks ago. We have the amaranth coming up here, you can see, and then leeks. This is a whole tray of leeks. Got bok choy and these 3, broccoli, and this one is, what is that? Oh, the cauliflower, snowball cauliflower. I think are these 3. And then that is the kohlrabi. I think there's 2 of those, the kohlrabi. Isn't that beautiful? We have more annual flowers that we're going to add into the hanging baskets and other pots. Then more Shasta daisies growing there. They haven't come up yet. And then this is the Brussels sprouts. All 4 of these are Brussels sprouts. Actually, there's 6, but nothing's happening in these 2 over here. I think I replanted those because they were part of the ones that got dumped, and I put them in these individual pots. But these I reseeded. It's not coming up yet. My neighbor gave me a willow tree, which was awesome. Thank you very much. And I'm propagating, what is this? Russian sage. I'm hoping this will come up. The rootstocks in there. And there's more sage seedlings. Some pepper plants that I overwintered. My lettuce tray, which is looking quite shabby. And definitely not very chic. This is where I planted my herb garden here. I have parsley. Then there is oregano. Then I have some roses intermingled in there. This is an apple tree. Some green onions. Thyme. Sage. Rosemary. Cilantro. Another rose. And then I have a patch of strawberries here that I transplanted. They're looking a little rough and a bit scraggly, but they'll bounce back. Now this variety is the quinault, which is an everbearing, I believe. And over here in the pots, I have my mint garden. That way it doesn't spread all over the garden. I made the mistake of planting it in ground last season, and it kind of took over that area. So it's definitely going into pots this time. This one is the peppermint, I believe. And then this is sweet mint here. This is lemon balm. And this is chocolate mint. In the hanging basket by the RV, I do have 2 different kind of mints as well. There's more sweet mint. And then this is a pineapple mint, which is variegated. I'll probably put some of this into the garden somewhere. This is a new bed over here, and I've got a fig already there, but I want to plant blueberries and raspberries in this garden here. And I also have a red gooseberry, I believe it is, started here that I bought this season. I'm probably going to plant another fig here. And I'll just have a row of, I want to get the what is it, the golden raspberries to plant here, and then put blueberries in front of them. That's the plan anyways. Over here by the rainwater collection for the outdoor shower and the rain barrel, I have a climbing rose planted here in this bucket, and then also a clematis. Last season I grew cucumbers up this trellis. I'll probably do the same thing here. The only thing different here is I did have corn growing here, but I transplanted my 2 rhubarb plants. They went through a little bit of shock and lost their leaves, but I think they're starting to bounce back now. Got some buttercrunch lettuce that is planted there. They went through some shock as well, but they're starting to leaf back out. There is sweet onions, a whole row of them there. And then I transplanted the purple coneflower here. And look it, this is my potato bucket last year. I didn't harvest it, and I have potatoes coming up. That's awesome. I didn't even have to do anything. Here is where my asparagus was. This is the one that was in the pot that someone said, oh, you can't grow asparagus in the pot. Well, the one that I grew in a pot, look, this is only its 2nd year, and it's already big enough to eat. And it's sending up shoots, huge shoots. And the ones that not grow in the pot, they're teeny tiny. They're little. The ones grown in the pot are huge. Don't always listen to what people have to say. Just test it out for yourself and see what happens. In the middle here, I have 3 new asparagus roots started. Past the asparagus, this is where I'm going to plant the leeks. Is in this little row here. I've already got it ready. And then I have shallots here. Swiss chards. The smaller ones are doing better because they didn't go through as much transplant shock as that one did. As you can see, I probably need to go ahead and cut the big leaves off and give it a chance to get established. And there's more sage there. I broadcasted some seeds in here just of flowers. I think they were pansies, and I can't remember what else there was. But pansies. I need to be better about labeling my plants. Right, Moo-moo? I need to be better about that. Label those plants so I know it's there. I have 3 apples total in the garden. There's one here, which has clover underplanted. I planted that out last year and it's coming back up. The only one that hasn't really leafed out is this one over here. But I think the rabbits, darn rascally rabbits, got to it and chewed the bark, as you can see. So I think this one is getting a late start. I see buds on it, and I don't think it's a different variety. So that's the only one that hasn't leafed out. The other 2 are doing well. All these pots here are going to be moved into the vegetable garden because I want to plant in the ground here, and it's not going to be any vegetables. All this is going to be moved into there. I didn't have a dolly to move anything, so I purchased this for $150, but it's huge. And it's a farm dolly, so I can actually move all these pots. Because I've already tried to pick up these pots and they're heavy as heck. And this is just going to be so much easier that way. Moo-moo, what you doing? Gonna go lay on the couch? Okay, I'll see you later. This is the Granny Smith apple, and it's just basically a stick. There's no limbs yet. But as you can see, it's definitely leafed out and also has some blossoms all over it. That's beautiful. The lamium is starting to spread and get its little purple blooms on it. And this is the Orchid Frost variety. I was able to find a spot for my forsythia. I think it would prefer a sunnier location, but I decided to try it here and see what happens. I bought this red climbing rose while I was traveling and got it potted up. That's why it's already leafed out. I'm excited for that to grow along the fence here. 2 more plants that I got in the ground that I bought while traveling was this climbing bush. This is a pink variety. I forget what the variety is. And this is the trumpet vine here, which is starting to leaf out. You can see the little tiny leaves there. But I am weaving it through this trellis here. I think that'll be pretty once it's all filled out. These 2 baskets here are the ones I bought the yellow pansies for. So I'm going to get those planted out and get all these black planters moved into the vegetable garden. Okay, this is not as easy as I thought it would. Yes, it does make it a bit simpler, but these suckers are still heavy as heck. Now that I'm looking back, I can Nice, no more totes, and we can plant directly into the ground. Showed you the apple there. There's a fig here, and lots of room for plants here. And I have left this comfrey here because I was thinking about planting it into the ground here. Whoa, that's early for the season. It looks like a big storm's coming, but it'll probably go around us because we're in a vortex. This looks awesome. I'm gonna leave these for probably the Roma tomatoes again because they did really well in the pots. Amazing, a lot of pots for planting out. Obviously, these ones are already planted out with what I showed you earlier. I was gonna get started on the hanging baskets and the planters for the deck, but it seems like it's gonna hit us. One just hit me in the eyeball. Raindrop. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Anyways, I might have to take a break because it does look like it's gonna rain just for a little bit. Hopefully not too long, or yeah, I'm okay if it rains actually, because then it'll help fill up my rainwater collection and then I can get started on these. Momo, it's gonna rain on us. You wanna go inside? Huh? You wanna go inside and chill out? I was waiting on you. Ooh. Bye, rain. Look at you already, Miss Comfortable. Are you hungry? Want a snack? Want a lunch? Lunchy, lunchy, lunchy? Yes. Okie dokie. There you go, spoiled princess. Yep, here's the rain. Not sure if you can hear it or see it. It's a light rain. But at least I don't have to water the plants that I've already planted. And also, but I definitely think it would have to rain harder than this to fill the first flush and fill up some of the tanks. Since I just cleaned all of that out. Oh, look it. It's like a massive storm over that way. Right to the left of the Humphreys and the San Francisco Peak. Memo, the weather is not cooperating. Doesn't want us to garden today. The rain went away, but the wind has picked up. And it's extremely windy. I'm not sure what the gusts are, but it's knocking the RV around a bit. Darn it. had to wait for the storm to pass before I could finish up, but it is almost 7 o'clock and we have to take the doggies for a walk. The storm kind of brought in a cold chill, so I got my jacket on. But let me show you what we got done. So it's not so overwhelming. I'm trying to concentrate on one bed at a time. Once I get that finished or close to finished, then I'll move on to the next bed. I worked on this front bed here. Right, Moo-moo? We've got the pin cushion, the dianthus, and the lavender, all perennials in this front bed. There's a blueberry that I planted last year. It's just now starting to leaf out. And at the far end of the bed here is a raspberry. I might add a few more little plants like up front, just some alyssum or something, just to fill that in. Hey Kellogg, what are you doing, huh? I worked a little bit on this bed here. I had a plumbago that I planted here. There's a little leaf starting to come up. I had another one, so I moved it here so I'd have a grouping of plumbago. And over here I only had one sedum autumn joy, the small one there. But I had two more in the garden over at another spot, so I moved them all in one spot to have a cluster here. I do want to do a grouping of flowers back here, like English daisies. And then I put in the rose there by the pin cushion. And I moved all this. I had one of these cactus here. This is the prickly pear cactus, but I wanted a grouping here, so I think, which one was it? I'm not sure. One of these smaller ones I had here, maybe that one. So I moved the rest of these here so I'd have a grouping. And that's going to be it for this sector here. Hey Moo-moo, I know you're ready to go on your walkie poo, but the hanging baskets turned out really well. They look so pretty. We're going to need to deadhead some of these, spent flowers here. The other hanging basket turned out just as nice. And then I have the tabletop planter here with the alyssum. It'll all fill out and then look lovely. Right, Moo-moo? Lovely. And last but not least, this planter here with the yellow petunias, the alyssum, and the bacopa. I think this will fill out really nicely. Jeff ended up getting this Cuisinart. This is a pizza oven here. So we're going to test it out later and maybe eat some pizza. I'm excited. What is all the racket going on over here? Get him, Moo-moo. Don't let him beat you up. Is someone spastic and ready for a walk? Walkie, walkie. Oh my goodness. Kellogg, you're ridiculous. Ah, look at how'd that go for you? You fell right off the couch. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to take the dogs for a walk so they'll calm down. But, oh, I forgot two more planters that I moved plants into. Here, in this planter, I have the coneflower, and something's been munching on it. That's why I've got the basket over it. And behind it is elephant ears. Oh, my God, what are y'all doing? Just being crazy. Just calm down. Give me like 15 seconds. Yes, you give me 15 seconds. And another plant that I had planted in the ground that was being munched on is the gaillardia. So I put it in this planter up high and then covered it until it gets bigger. Over here is the next bed that I want to start working on. I really didn't get to film it, but there's already a lot in this bed, but I want it to be full. But things are just now starting to come up, like the 4 o'clocks. There's one there, and there. I might actually move that blueberry because I don't know, it's just not a good spot for it. I'll probably put it in the vegetable garden. This patch of yarrow is starting to come up here. And then I moved some other plants like the heuchera or corabelle. There's a hosta there. And then some ferns which haven't actually started coming up yet, but I moved those from another garden bed. Once this starts to fill out, I think it'll look nice. I also moved this lentil rose or hellebore. No flowers yet, so I did move it from the other location. I think it'll like this spot better. It's more shaded than the other spot. It did get dried out in the other spot because I think it got way too much sun. No signs of life from the hydrangea I planted last year. Oh, wait, what is that? Oh, maybe a little, right there. Okay, and then I think I need to actually put more plants over here. It's kind of sparse through here. There's another blueberry there that I might move into the garden because it gets kind of lost here. All right, this is what y'all been waiting for. Go. Now they're not spastic. Run, you're free. There's definitely a lot going on at RV Home Base. See those little mounds behind me? If you want, you can put what you think those are in the comments down below. I won't tell you until another video. That's for later. All these little black mushrooms are popping up everywhere. Look, it'll throw off some like black spores. It's kind of weird.
They don't look like edible ones.
No, I probably wouldn't suggest eating those. But they're still kind of cool looking. Moo-moo, too far. Good girl. We still have to work on the fencing. Get the post up and then the cross members. So much to do, so much to do. But we did get the wood permit, which is 20 bucks. Oh, look at these beautiful little daisies growing natural. Kellogg, come on. Where'd he go to? Oh, there he is. Come on. He just blends in with the environment because he's tan. We just turned into the gate and are walking the perimeter road now. And this goes all along the perimeter of the property and then towards the back, and there is home base right there. This is a very unusual plant that I've never seen before. I'm not sure. I think it's just leaves. But it looks like orange flowers. But it just gets bright orange as you go to the top. But I don't think it's flowers at all. It's just leaves. Isn't that beautiful, though? Need to transplant that into the garden.
It's like the leaves that come up to the flowers start turning.
Yeah, this one actually has a caterpillar on it. Right there. It's munching away. When we first got here, there was a lot of dried grass, but everything's starting to green up now. Now that we've had a couple rainstorms. All the grass is starting to turn green again. Ugh, time to mow. Luckily, we only mow certain areas. The rest of it's just wild. Hey, moo-moo. Let's see what's going on. Ooh. It is pizza time. Is it at 400?
Well, it's gotten way too hot, and I've turned it all the way to low.
It's thin crust extreme bacon. Ooh, looks good. Still at 500, even with the door open. I think it's starting to get crispy on the bottom, so we probably can pull it out and check it. You wanna pull it out? I think it still had 2 minutes left. Do you want to check the... Oh yeah, it's a thin crust, so it's probably gonna cook way quicker. Is it? Oh yeah, well, you think it can...
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, you think it can go like 1 more minute?
Maybe.
Okay.
I wouldn't go too much more.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's all the way down and low.
Oh, that's... Oh, actually, you can pull it out. That was the alarm for it. So we can cut this off now. Well, the pizza was good, but the crust could have been a little crispier. So maybe just a minute or two more in cooking time. But that's the thing, we've got to figure out how to cook with it since it was our first time. We don't know how the temperature, how the pizza stone reacts with the pizza and how to cook it. At least it didn't burn it. I do not like burnt pizza. In the next video, I'll probably get started on the vegetable garden because those seedlings need to get planted out soon. They're ready almost a month old. So yeah, I want to get them in the garden. That's going to be a project, or that's going to be a lot of work because I have a lot of seedlings, and I'm going to also direct sow some of the garden too. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with us, and I'm gonna go to bed soon. I'm exhausted. I've been getting up much earlier, like around 5:30 a.m., so I get pretty tired early. But we'll see you next time. Until then, stay safe and onward bound. Moo-moo, you already passed out? Say goodnight. Good night. Good night.